Hello everyone, good evening. I'm Shreya Dhondial as always. It is absolutely terrific to see you. Is the 2029 election going to be a direct battle between Rahul Gandhi and Prime Minister Modi? Well, it's not a rhetorical question that I'm asking this evening. It is the prediction that has been made by the freshly minted Tamil Nadu Congress chief, Manikam Tagore. He says that given Rahul Gandhi's popularity in Tamil Nadu, it is from here that Project PM will start. He also has very grandly announced that Rahul Gandhi will be 2029's prime ministerial face for the Congress party. Mr. Tagore, of course, forgot that the Congress is part of a larger India bloc and that their allies may not necessarily be elated with the idea. But before we get to all of that, a quick listen in to what Mr. Tagore has said today.
மத்திய அரசுல இருக்கிற மோடி அரசை வீட்டுக்கு அனுப்பணும்னா தான் தமிழ்நாட்டுக்கு நல்லது வரும். இந்த செய்தியை நம்ம சொல்லணும், இந்த narrative நம்ம கீழ பில்ட் பண்ணணும். நம்மை பொறுத்த மட்டும் இந்த சண்டை 2029க்கான சண்டை ரெண்டு தான். ஒரு பக்கம் மோடி, ஒரு பக்கம் ராகுல் காந்தி. எந்த பக்கத்துல இருக்க? அதுதான் கேள்வி. எங்களோட இருக்கியா இல்லங்கறதெல்லாம் வேற காரணம் தான். ராகுல் காந்தியோட இருக்கியா, மோடியோட இருக்கியா? இதுதான் கேள்வி. யார் தமிழ்நாட்டுல எங்கிட்டு இருக்கீங்கங்கற முடிவு பண்ணிக்க. அண்ணே எச் ராஜாவோட சேர்ந்து மோடியை சப்போர்ட் பண்றியா, பழனிசாமி என்ன மாதிரி பண்ணு. மக்கள் ஓட்டு போடுவாங்கல உனக்கு அப்புறம். எங்களை பொறுத்த மட்டும் எங்களுடைய முகம் ராகுல் காந்தி. ராகுல் காந்தி தான் பிரதமர் வேட்பாளர். பிரதமர் வேட்பாளர் அவருக்கு வாக்களிக்க வேண்டும்னா காங்கிரஸ் கட்சிக்கு ஆதரவு தாருங்கள். காங்கிரஸ் கட்சியுடைய தொண்டர்கள் இதை திருப்பி திருப்பி சொல்லணும். இதை மையமா வச்சு தான் 2029 தான் நம்ம டார்கெட்.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Congress won 5 out of 28 seats that they contested in Tamil Nadu in the recently concluded elections and promptly walked out of their alliance with the DMK to join the Vijay government. The DMK has now walked out of the India bloc and does not even want to sit next to the Congress party in parliament. In fact, the DMK has called Rahul Gandhi politically immature and a big joke. They are not the only allies that may not be elated, well, ex-ally in this case, but allies who may not exactly be elated with Rahul Gandhi being pitched as the prime ministerial face for the next election, even before they are consulted. There is Mamata Banerjee, another big partner in the alliance. She says Rahul is Prime Minister Modi and the BJP's biggest TRP. Then there is Sharad Pawar, who has said that Rahul lacks consistency. So the Congress may propose Rahul as the PM face of the alliance, but will the allies agree? Today, after Manikam Tagore's announcement and pronouncements, these allies aren't exactly pleased. Listen in.
And I would advise them to keep restraint, otherwise they'll do only what BJP is looking for. I think both the top leadership sits together as early as possible and work out a formula where India in alliance will emerge more stronger.
If the Congress has shown half of the enthusiasm that they show in opposing the secular parties like the DMK in Tamil Nadu towards the BJP, the Congress would have done so well all over the country. Unfortunately, this enthusiasm comes only when they have to attack secular parties like the DMK. When it comes to BJP, they keep their mouth shut.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is often said that the road to Delhi passes through Uttar Pradesh. Since there is an assembly election that is coming up in UP next year, let's see how the Congress party has done in UP. It will give us some context because UP is also the home ground of the Gandhis. Since 2012, Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party's strike rate in assembly elections has consistently dropped to a point where they have just 2 seats. They fought 399 seats, they won just 2 in India's largest state. That is a strike rate of less than 1%, ladies and gentlemen. Today, they are saying if Rahul is to forge an alliance with the Samajwadi Party, then the seat sharing has to be 50-50. Listen in.
कांग्रेस पार्टी राष्ट्रीय पार्टी है, बड़ी पार्टी है, भारत को आज़ाद कांग्रेस पार्टी ने कराया और अब कांग्रेस पार्टी अपनी वही राष्ट्रीय भूमिका निभाएगी और हम अपने सहयोगी दलों को एक बात कहते हैं कि जितना सम्मान और हिस्सेदारी आपकी है उतनी हमारी भी है. हिस्सेदारी, भागीदारी और सम्मान बराबर का होना चाहिए और वो बराबर का होगा.
Ladies and gentlemen, this renewed confidence of the Congress is coming from the fact that despite 100 losses under Rahul Gandhi, the Congress party did win 99 seats in the last Lok Sabha elections. The BJP, with 240, if you remember, had fallen short of a complete majority. But then there is the other picture as well. In 2014, the Congress ruled 13 states. Now it is in power in only 4 states. So today, as Manikam Tagore pitched Rahul Gandhi as India's next Prime Minister, the BJP had a lot to say.
में जो कांग्रेस के नेता राहुल बाबा है वो पार्ट टाइम पॉलिटिशियन है और भाजपा का एक कार्यकर्ता फुल टाइम पॉलिटिक्स करता है, जनता की सेवा करता है। मित्रों, जब से ये सरकार 2023 में बनी तब से जिन वादों के साथ ये सरकार आई, इस सरकार को जनता की चिंता नहीं, अपने परिवार और अपने पार्टी के लोगों की चिंता है।
Congress party can well fantasize that Rahul Gandhi should become Prime Minister, but it is ultimately the people of India who decide whom to make Prime Minister. In the last 3 elections, the people of India have decided that Rahul Gandhi cannot be PM. In fact, they have defeated him 99 times. And even after that, if somebody wants to remain in Delulu, then there is no Solulu. A party which has won 5 MLAs, that to the behest of DMK, is now daydreaming. Well, there is no tax on daydreaming, so they can continue.
In his career of 22 years, Rahul Gandhi may have had 100 defeats, but there have been some very big moments as well, like the Karnataka elections, like the rollback of the Farmers' Bill, like the fact that the Congress party doubled its tally in 2024, getting 99 seats. Question is, will 2029 be his biggest moment? It's something we are debating because it is something that Manikam Tagore today has grandly pronounced. Let me go across to my guests this evening who are joining us on the broadcast. Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson of the BJP. Good evening, Sanju. Tushar Gupta, political analyst, joining us on the broadcast. Bhavya, good to have you on the show. Spokesperson of the Congress party, and Neerja Chaudhary ji is a senior journalist and will give us perspective after we've heard from the BJP and the Congress. Neerja ji, you'll have to be a bit patient. Aaj thodi si der. Bhavya, can I ask you what prompted Mr. Manikam Tagore to say what he said? It was slightly unexpected.
Express what's in the hearts of the millions of Indians today. The only voice which is opposing, which is exposing every failure of Modi government is Rahul Gandhi. One, Congress is the biggest partner in the alliance. Two, and tell me one consistent leader who has brought up real issues. And today he is the leader of opposition. He is the shadow prime minister. Of course we are going to defeat Narendra Modi. Of course we are going to form government. Of course Rahul Gandhi will be the prime minister.
Bhavya, but
he just spoke what is in the hearts of millions of people.
The BJP today is saying this is delusional. I mean, if you say Gen Z will vote for Rahul Gandhi, then only 20% of Gen Z votes for Rahul Gandhi. If you see Rahul Gandhi's attendance, his attendance is barely 50%. The national average is 70%. Your own allies are saying that he lacks consistency.
If Narendra Modi and his BJP environment thinks that, by creating reels, by trying to tart image of Rahul Gandhi, they can still win elections. That time is over. The Gen Zs have already spoken. They are seeing who is actually standing up for their cause. Whether it is NEET exam, whether it is CBSE exam. All the affected students who died, they are all Gen Zs. So Gen Zs are going to speak in 2029 and they are going to speak for Congress, for Rahul Gandhi. It's very clear. Anymore, all these man ki baat, all these only talk. And the way they're saying that we are delusional, let me tell you, in their desperation, they're just showing paranoia. They are scared. They're scared of the popularity of Rahul Gandhi. They're scared of the exposure of this shallow, hollow image that Narendra Modi had built for himself. As simple as that. It's their paranoia, not our delusion.
Okay, before I go to Sanju, a quick question to you, counter question to you. Since you have spoken about Gen Z, I was just trying to give out the data of how Gen Zs vote in this country. Only 20% in the last 2 elections have voted for the Congress party. 40% have voted for the BJP. So, ये अगर आप Gen Z के भरोसे बैठे हैं, भव्या, may not happen.
Oh, that's exactly what I'm saying. All this while, they were trying to, pacify Gen Z, saying, they're going to bring a big change. They tried to bring Lord Rama. Today they looted Lord Rama. You think Gen Zs today, those kids are really smart. They're not like us. They're very smart. They gave a chance to Narendra Modi. Then they observed how he performed. They saw like how in the name of religion, they tried to divide the country. They saw how in the name of Lord Rama, they are literally looting and playing with the religious emotions of Hindus. They're seeing how they failed NEET students, CBSE young kids. They're playing with their future. You really think Gen Zs are gonna ever vote for Narendra Modi again? Last time they gave him a chance, yes. I don't deny. Anymore, I'm sure they won't. They have seen Rahul Gandhi as being their voice, the real voice in parliament as well as on streets.
Okay.
So I'm sure Gen Z will be with us.
ठीक है, चलिए वो तो we will see Sanju Verma, but I say never. You didn't, the BJP didn't expect the results it got in 2024. After seeing those results, one would say कुछ भी हो सकता है.
You know, Shreya, thank you for having me over. पहले तो मैं ये कहूंगी, ताउम्र गालिब में ये भूल करता रहा, धूल चेहरे पर थी और मैं आईना साफ करता रहा. कांग्रेस पार्टी, I did not interject. Ask this lady to please keep quiet.
Sanju,
wait for your turn.
No. You know what she's saying. Sanju, she's saying, can Sanju please speak in English so that I can understand properly?
I will speak in the manner that I deem fit. I don't need lectures from anyone. Thank you. पहली बात, दोबारा सुनिए. तुमको मालूम है जन्नत की हकीकत क्या है, लेकिन गालिब दिल को खुश करने के लिए ख्याल अच्छा है. Another Hindi saying. So the limited point is this. Rahul Gandhi, congratulations, 100 losses under your belt. Nobody could have seen, this coming. Not even diehard Congressies. That is the reason from, a Sunil Jhakar to a Amrinder Singh to a Ashok Chavan to a Jaivir Shergill and a Radhika Khera. People have left Congress by the dozens. But that's not the point. The point is this. You gave out some very interesting data. Uttar Pradesh mein Congress party strike rate in the last 15 odd years from 7.9% to 6.5% to now 0.5%. कांग्रेस दरबारी टीवी स्टूडियो पर आकर क्या कहते हैं? वाह जी वाह, राहुल जी यू आर थलाइवा, राहुल जी यू आर जननायक. फिर बात करते हैं कर्नाटका की. इन द लास्ट 3 लोकसभा इलेक्शन, श्रेया, the BJP's total tally in Karnataka is 59 seats. The Congress's total tally in last 3 Lok Sabha elections from Karnataka is 19, which means we have 3.1 times higher seats than them in Karnataka alone in the last 3 Lok Sabha elections. Wait, she spoke for a long time. My final point is this. Last 3 Lok Sabha elections in a row, BJP's tally 825, Congress's tally 195, which means BJP has 1.95 times higher seats than Congress. And Shreya ji, if you take last 5 Lok Sabha elections, BJP's tally 1059, Congress's tally 543, which means again more than 2 times higher tally than the Congress. So Congress का ये जो confidence है ना, this is misplaced. And मुझे सिर्फ हंसी आती है कि मुंगेरी लाल के हसीन सपने देखने से भला इन्हें कौन रोक सकता है?
Sanju, since you spoke of Karnataka, you forgot the assembly elections very conveniently, na? Very conveniently you forgot the elections. Very conveniently you have forgotten the fact that they did exceptionally well in Karnataka, getting a full majority in 31 years. Right? They've recently won Kerala. I go back to 2024. I also go back to the fact that it was under opposition pressure that the farmer bill was rolled back.
Shreya, I don't understand. I'm the spokesperson for BJP. I'm not the spokesperson for Congress. Congress की धज्जियां उड़ रही हैं, and she said in 2029 we will defeat Modi. You have a nice smile on your face.
No, it's good to smile. There is no problem in smiling. Rahul Gandhi, after so many defeats, smiles. I think that is a positive. Neeraja ji.
Shreya, I don't understand. Are you the panelist or the anchor? Why is it that you can't help yourself from heckling me?
I am not heckling you. I am just trying to get Neeraja ji. I am just trying to get Neeraja ji there. Neeraja ji, Is this confidence misplaced? Tushar, I'll come to you in a bit. Is this confidence of the Congress party misplaced, or will all political parties project their leader as the prime ministerial face? We should not take what Manikam is saying too seriously.
Well, what Tagore is saying, I don't find anything new in what he's saying. As far as the Congress party is concerned, he's the LOP. LOP is normally the prospective prime minister. And of course, as far as the Congress is concerned, there seems to be no controversy that he will be the PM face. Nobody is revolted against that. And there is simply no one else about whom there's a consensus that as a future prime minister. Now, you and I can talk, and we keep talking. You know, is it what he's doing adequate enough? Can he do it? Why is he not clicking against Narendra Modi? Now it's 22 years since he came into parliament. And that's a long time. And as you were seeing, showing on your screen, 57 elections lost under his leadership, and also the Gen Z swinging only 1% swing to the Congress from the BJP, if you compare it to 2019 to 2024. So yes, those are question marks. But as far as the congressman saying he's the future prime minister, that's old hat. What's new about that? As far as the allies are concerned, are they accepting him that much more because they themselves have been weakened? We've not seen M.K. Stalin had projected him as a prime ministerial candidate, but the DMK is now distancing itself from the India bloc. It's not there anymore. At least it was not there at the last meeting. And, if the India bloc doesn't click, and the most important contest is going to be in Uttar Pradesh. Because now suddenly that situation has become very live after the Chanda Chori and the, all that happening, and SIT and Yogi Adityanath going on the rampage that he's going to punish those who are guilty, and Akhilesh Yadav, going to town against it. So let's see how UP pans out and what kind of an alliance Congress party has with Akhilesh Yadav, because that was the undoing of the NDA and the BJP in 2024. That is what brought them to 240 seats.
So that the Congress will pitch him as the PM face, you're saying, is a given. The allies at one point of time would not be elated with the idea. Right now, they may not have a choice. Neeraja ji, would you want to come in here? Tushar, because India bloc allies themselves have been weakened. The DMK has lost, and oh my God, has it lost? The TMC finished, decimated, split in the party. There is no other leader big enough and grand enough in the India alliance. This could very well be Rahul Gandhi's moment.
Shreya, I was in my schooling in the 2000s. I used to hear Rahul Gandhi is going to be the next prime ministerial face. I was in college in my 2010s. I used to hear Rahul Gandhi is going to be the next prime ministerial face for the Congress. I'm in my 2020s talking to you, wonderful people. I'm still hearing Rahul Gandhi is the prime ministerial face. Manmohan Singh in 2013 used to tell us that Rahul Gandhi is going to be the next leader of the Congress. What is the surprise there? Point number two, talking of weakening allies, you raise an important point. But even with strengthened allies, Rahul Gandhi was always the front runner. Mamata Banerjee did not have a catchment area out of West Bengal. Stalin did not have a catchment area out of Tamil Nadu. Akhilesh Yadav doesn't have a catchment area out of Uttar Pradesh. Tejasvi Yadav doesn't have a catchment area out of Bihar. So Rahul Gandhi, allies weakened or strengthened, was always the front runner to lead the alliance and to be the prime ministerial face of then UP and now India alliance. That's very simple. Third point, you spoke of convenience, that probably the BJP has a habit of putting a filter of victories over what they want to see. But the Congress also makes the same mistake. Congress thinks 240 for the BJP was a big loss. But since then, look at how the BJP has recovered. 240 is the tally that the Congress last time crossed in 1984. So Congress also needs to understand that fine, the allies might have been weakened. That may put Rahul Gandhi in the pole position, but that also increases the responsibility on Rahul Gandhi to perform. Because now he needs to share the burden of not only winning in the seats where it's Congress versus the BJP, he also needs to make a headway in seats where it's going to be the regional parties versus the BJP. Can he do that? And final point, 2012, Uttar Pradesh, it was supposed to be Rahul Gandhi's big launch. It failed. 2017, it was supposed supposed to be Rahul Gandhi's big launch, UP ke do ladke and whatnot, it failed. 2022, ladki ho, lad sakti ho, it was supposed to be the Gandhi sibling launch, it failed and they ended up with a 6% vote share. 2027, also let's check it out. Final point where I disagree always with you, Shreya, is there is no heroic in losing 100 elections in the last 20 years and still standing up. Rahul Gandhi could do better by being a enabler of someone in the Congress party who perhaps wants to lead. But if Madhikram Tagore thinks that he has a better shot against Narendra Modi in 2029, by all means, let him do that. But this is not new. This is a story that has been sold to us for 20 years now. 20 years is a long time.
Bhavya, you want to come in? Give me a minute here,
Yes,
Sanju.
of course.
You want to come in?
Yeah.
What Tushar is saying
Yes,
is
yes.
that Rahul Gandhi has been Prime Minister in waiting for far too long.
I want to address both Neerja ma'am and then Tushar Gupta. Starting with Neerja ma'am, with all respect to your experience, the statements you made were not up to your mark. I expected better from you because you were talking about, DMK expecting Stalin to be PM. They're all regional parties. You need to understand that Congress is a grand old party. It's a national party. It's a party which has the highest number of opposition MPs today in the parliament. One, Tushar Gupta. You kept talking about being in school, being in college, being today speaking about Rahul Gandhi becoming the Prime Minister. He's a fifth-time MP. He's just 56 years old. So imagine his popularity when you were in school that many years ago. So, you know what? Speak something sensible so that, use your grey matter so that people don't laugh at you. You should be, actually impressed that at such a young age, he was portrayed, he was taught to be like the Prime Minister phase of this country. And today also, yes, he will be the Prime Minister.
Bhavya, but he was projected as the... Don't get personal. Bhavya, no point getting personal. You never get personal. I'm surprised that you're getting personal with Tushar.
No, I'm not getting personal. I'm not getting personal. That's not fair. What he said. One more thing, Neerja ma'am, she was talking about Yogi Adityanath going on rampage. Come on, he let people loot in the name of Lord Rama under his administration. And now he's going all rampage. He kept quiet for more than a month. On June 4th, they knew. And today when it is being exposed, they made some 8 people a scapegoat who ate crumbs. The bigger pie was eaten by these people. And Neerja ma'am is saying he's gone on rampage. What was he doing for the past 1 month? It was under his administration. He became the chief minister using Lord Rama's name.
Bhavya, so here's the point. Both Tushar and Sanju want to come in, but here's my limited point. If a newbie in politics, Bhavya, if a newbie in politics or a second-time MP is projected as the prime ministerial face of the party, there's a problem with the party. No, it's not clarity. It's called dynastic privilege.
Why not? Why not?
It's called dynastic privilege.
Okay, the first time MP. Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister. The first time MLA. Vijay became the Chief Minister.
He was Chief Minister for how long? Chalo, anyway, let Tushar come in.
Let's take it one by one. Firstly, if drama was equivalent to votes on the ground, if drama translated to votes on the ground, the Congress would have had 543 seats. But drama doesn't equal votes. Number 2, 99 seats in the opposition is Congress's third worst tally after their tally in 2014 and 2019. 99 is not an achievement. It's a testament to how Congress has been failing for the last 3 Lok Sabha elections, along with their failures in the state assembly. So please do not sell it as an achievement. Wake up and smell the reality. Number 3, she's saying he's been there for 20 years. Look how popular he is. He's been there for 20 years because he's the son of Rajiv Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi. That's his only credential that makes him a 5-time MP from a seat he chooses, from a safe seat he chooses, like Amethi or Raebareli or Wayanad. Let's be very clear about Rahul Gandhi's privilege also before you say, oh, he's been struggling for 20 years. He's no Sachin Tendulkar. He's a silver spoon scion. There is a very, very clear difference. And lastly, it's the same arrogance of the Congress spokespersons that actually repel the fence-sitters. To address a senior journalist like that, to address a political analyst like that, I was actually giving Rahul Gandhi the benefit of doubt with the weakened allies. But there we have the Congress spokesperson in all their arrogance thinking that we are against
expect me
Rahul
to
Gandhi.
keep quiet.
It's okay.
Let
I've
me
seen
speak
many
on-
such spokespersons.
I've
seen many such spokespersons
Bhai,
go.
no,
It's
no
very
ladai on
easy.
this panel, please. No ladai on this panel. I
I've seen
apologize if
many
things
like
have
to
gotten
come and go.
personal for any one of you. I apologize on, on behalf of Times Now, but don't get personal with anyone. No point. No, it's a pointless exercise. Sanju Verma, can I just say never? 20 years ago, would Narendra Modi have thought that he would be the Prime Minister of this country and become the longest serving Prime
But he was
Minister?
a chief minister.
एक मिनट नहीं ठीक है I understand he was chief minister. The fact is you keep tom-tomming the fact कि यार इसने तो 100 election हार लिए. But the fact is under Narendra Modi also since 2014 the BJP has lost 31 elections. So never say never. It could happen.
Shreya, you keep tom-tomming. BJP has lost 31 elections under Narendra Modi. Under Narendra Modi, BJP won 3 Lok Sabha elections in a row. Under Narendra Modi, after June 2024, elections were conducted in 11 states. BJP won 7 out of 11 with a strike rate of 65%. Congress won only 1 state, Kerala, with a strike rate of 9%. My third point is this. Na नीति है, na niyat है, na नेतृत्व है. That is what Rahul Gandhi epitomizes. My point number 4, जो JP नड्डा कहते हैं, कहीं की ईट कहीं का रोड़ा, भानुमति ने कुंबा जोड़ा. The entire Congress revolves around Rahul Gandhi, who is well past his expiry date. During my MBA days, there was a famous saying by Philip Kotler, which we used to read again and again. The worst disservice you can do to a failed product is to not take it off the shelf. Rahul Gandhi ko Tata bye-bye bolne ki bajaye, Rahul Gandhi is the next best thing after brown bread कहकर. He's again and again resurrected. That is the biggest problem with the Congress party. Final point, please. Final point. Today, Sanju Verma को arrogant बोलना बोलिए, डंके की चोट पर कहती हूँ, BJP rules 73% of India by population and 78% by geography. Rahul Gandhi 2034 में भी प्रधानमंत्री नहीं बनेंगे. मुंगेरी लाल के हसीन सपने कांग्रेस पार्टी देखती है. देखने दीजिए. Delulu is what the entire Darbari ecosystem epitomizes, and I can't stop laughing
अच्छा
at
ठीक
these
है.
jokers.
नीरजा ji, you are not part of the Darbari ecosystem as they call it. Can I ask you? You know, it's very clear. It's as clear as daylight that Rahul Gandhi is not clicking against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. That is absolutely clear. But the fellow does have some redeeming qualities. Tushar and I contradict each other on this one. But I do feel people say he doesn't have consistency. I say even after all those defeats, he stands up and he keeps walking and he keeps trying. That's a good thing. The guy's core ideological belief has not shaken in the last 22 years for political convenience. I say that's a good thing.
Exactly.
Is that something that people of India see? And if yes, why do they still not vote for him?
See, that is the question. I've called him the most courageous politician in India today. He takes on Narendra Modi and the BJP frontally. You can say there is a problem of Bhasha ka lafda, as somebody put it, but forget that for the moment. Bharat Jodo Yatra, 4,000 kilometers of walking. Few people have done that to reach out to people, and it's changed.
Really walking.
But what the Congress spokesperson was saying, because you are a larger and you're not clicking at the electoral level and you're not introspecting enough, why? Why are you not doing it? Why are you not shaping up as the opposition should shape up? And why is the Congress party, for 2019, he resigned as the Congress president. And for over 3 years, the Congress party did not have a full-time president because they were waiting for Rahul Gandhi to make up his mind what he wanted to do. That is what I call entitlement. The party is waiting. Grand old party of India that, millions of people have voted for. They want an alternative to the NDA. Many people are dissatisfied. Younger people are dissatisfied. Jobs, prices. And then you sit back and say, because we are the largest party, we have to be, and anybody who criticizes him, come on, man, you shape up as a party, I will say that to you. And let Rahul Gandhi shape up as an alternative to Narendra Modi. We feel very angry about this and very dissatisfied that you don't have what it takes today to give the kind of leadership that the country needs. And look at yourselves honestly, instead of blaming other people.
Bhavya, I'll give you the last
Sorry
word,
to be
20
angry.
seconds.
I don't normally
So
get
starting
angry
with
when
Sanju Verma, when you say that you don't reek of arrogance, you reek of frustration and desperation to just malign a man's image, getting personal with a man. That's it. It's as simple as that. It's your frustration and
Acha,
desperation.
theek hai, ho gaya.
As simple as that. And
Ho
the
gaya.
last point, Rahul Gandhi is a man
Rahul Gandhi is a joker.
against whom a
Rahul
whole
Gandhi is a
institution of
joker.
BJP
बोलिए, Rahul Gandhi is
abused,
clown.
maligned his
Rahul
image,
Gandhi is
spent crores together
Drama,
only to
drama,
set up
drama.
this kind of an
Rahul
image.
Too much
He
drama.
overcame all of it.
No actual
And today
substance,
he
only
is
drama.
rising as a leader,
That woman is
and that is
ignored.
something that
That
says
woman
about
is
his
stupid.
prime ministership.
ठीक है,
Thank
okay.
you.
Thank you. Okay.
Can I?
Acha bhai, now chalo, okay, I'll give everyone 20 seconds. I can't have people getting angry and Neerja ji getting angry and leaving without saying anything. Tushar, you go, then I'll get to Neerja ji and Sanju.
Manikam Tengor, whatever he said, had he not said it, even then Rahul Gandhi would have been the front runner for 2029 from the Congress. You said he does not have an ideological contradiction. In 2010, the man was saying we need a casteless society. Now his entire politics hinges on a caste census. Come on, Shreya. The problem with Rahul Gandhi is exactly what you refuse to accept. Consistency and ideology. Today, can he tell a group of 20-year-olds, this is my ideology for the next 5 years, forget 50, and this is what I propose to do? He cannot. He's not said that to 30-year-olds, not to 40-year-olds, and that is why Congress is where it is today. Rahul Gandhi lacks that consistency, that ideology, and that is why he's never going to be a competition to Narendra Modi.
Sanju?
Shreya, I did not get personal with anyone, but I have to say this, that Bhavya Narasimha Murthy, each time she opens her mouth, Rahul Gandhi ke 100 vote kam ho jate hain. But my final point is this, Rahul Gandhi's attendance taking off from what
When you
Neerja ji
abuse my
said.
leader, I'm not going to sit quiet. Sanju Verma, mind it. When you abuse my leader, get personal with him. I am not going to sit quiet. He's my leader and I'm going to defend him.
So, chaliye, okay.
Let me finish.
हाँ.
Monsoon session, very quickly, 10 seconds, Shreya. Monsoon session 2020, winter session 2022, budget session 2024. Rahul Gandhi's royal attendance record क्या है? ZERO 0.
संजू.
और ये चमचे, ये भव्य नरसिम्हा मूर्ति जैसे चमचे आकर नेशनल टीवी पर पप्पू
Desperation.
अच्छा, लेकिन
Desperation.
संजू एक बार मोदी जी का भी अटेंडेंस रिकॉर्ड ले आके दिखा दो. मैंने कोशिश किया था देखने का, it doesn't exist. Neerja ji, I'll give you the last word, 20 seconds, since you were very angry. I've never seen you this angry on national TV. You're angry with the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi.
No, I represent a sentiment of many people who would like a stronger Congress and feel helpless at one level. Why is it that they're not able, as I say, to shape up? Now, Rahul Gandhi is accepted as, the LOP. There's no one else in the Congress. But what they need to do, they are not doing, obviously, because they are not winning electorally. And I think somewhere he needs to listen to voices from within the Congress, younger people, of course, but even the experienced people, about how to do better, how to turn the corner. And also, there's no shortcut to rebuilding the organization. There is simply no shortcut to that.
We leave it there for the moment. I hope Rahul Gandhi was listening. Thank you, Bhavya, for joining us. Neerja ji, Sanju, Tushar, good to have you on the show. मुझे लग रहा था बात क्या करेंगे हम for 30 minutes. We have more to talk, I now realize. When it comes to Rahul Gandhi, everyone has something to say. Ab Tushar doesn't want to end the show. Tushar, okay, 2 minutes, 10 seconds, follow.
Just one thing to the Congress spokesperson, criticism is not abuse. There's a fine difference between the two. That's all.
We leave it there. Thank you all very much for joining us this evening. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, a quick break. There's some more news coming up on the other side. Do stay with us.